Hey, I'm Daniel from Junior Junior.
And I'm Josh from Junior Junior. This is Potato, who's our mascot. And we're here at Amoeba doing the What's in Your Bag.
I can see the light through the leaves, but it's all gone.
I picked up Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know why. It's so dumb. But my favorite part of the movie is when they do the fraternity decathlon and Lamar has to throw the javelin, and they're like so smart that they've designed one to go with his limp-wristed throwing style. I just love it.
I love Procol Harum. A Salty Dog, I feel like that's my favorite song by them, and this is the album title after that.
No lofty peak, no fortress bold, could match our captain's eye.
I recently just started listening to them again and totally forgot that I had this like 2 or 3 years when I was first starting to form bands as a teenager where like this is what I wanted to sound like. So I'm definitely not sounding like this, but I still love this song.
There's still time. The next thing I grabbed was Archers of Loaf versus the Greatest of All Time, which was actually the first time that I had ever seen an EP. I had an older sister and she had really good taste in music, but I remember as soon as I heard The Lowest Part Is Free, it like changed the way that I thought about music. I never got into like punk in the like leather and hair dye and spiky mohawky way, but I felt like Archers of Loaf,
the spirit of it.
Yeah, the spirit of it was kind of punk. Like it was so like sloppy and gross and rough. I actually don't have this any longer, and I'd like to have it again.
Randy Newman, Josh and I both really enjoy Randy Newman, have a lot of respect for him. I have a lot of Randy Newman at home, but most of it is live. So just him kind of on piano, and I kind of love it. He's one of the few people that I can listen to live. I don't really like live albums, but this has a bunch of songs on one of the live albums that I haven't heard the studio versions of.
Like Living Without You?
Well, Living Without You, and I Think It's Going to Rain Today, I hear more of the live version than the studio version.
Nothing is going to rain today.
Plus, we covered that song on our mixtape. We changed the chords in this bridge for I Think It's Gonna Rain Today, and he like told us that, like, he's like, man, those are really good. I wish I would have thought of that. Just like kind of blows you away, you know? Yeah. So he's kind of like, he has a special place in my heart.
Yeah. I just bought an apartment and I'm trying to decorate, and I think everyone loves coffee table books. And Leonard Cohen is just one of my favorite artists of all time. He can like cut to the heart of something in fewer words than anyone I've ever heard, and it's inspiring. When he decided to play his first concert in America in 15 years, he did it at Beacon Theater in New York, and I thought that it was gonna be like the last time that he played, so I flew out to New York for it. In between two of his songs at the concert, he said, "Forget your perfect offering, there's a crack in everything, that's how the light gets in." And I just started bawling, and then I was just weeping for the rest of the concert, and he played for like 3 hours and was skipping around as like an 87-year-old man. Then he went on like world tour for like 3 years after, and I could have just seen him in Detroit or LA or wherever. But I did see him a couple more times after that.
On Instagram, I follow this dude, and he posts all the time, and it's just a picture of a real human being standing on the side of the street or in normal life, and he talks to them and gets like a quote from them, and it's always really inspiring and informative and just a little deeper than what you would normally see on Instagram. So this is like a book of some of the better ones.
Talking Heads is also one of my favorite bands of all time. David Byrne is like, if I could have anyone's career, I would have his, because he's so prolific in so many different mediums. He wrote this book, How Music Works, and it was incredible. He has such a deep understanding of like the entire world around him, and all of his music is incredible, but Fear of Music was one of the albums that that was really experimental for them. They were like trying to be totally rhythm-based in the inspiration for stuff.
I really love Shakespeare, and I have not seen this, and Michael Fassbender is awesome. So I'm taking a gamble. I'm hoping this will be good.
Besides, This Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office that his virtues would plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off.
To me, there's a lot of similarity between Shakespeare and like modern poetry and rap. Like there's so many crossovers with a lot of that. I'm really into the sonnets because they're kind of musical. They have a rhythm to them, and he finds a way to say stuff that we all say to each other. I really, like, he just always blows my mind. Still, it's kind of geeky, but.
I've picked Saved by the Bell seasons 1 and 2 on DVD because Saved by the Bell is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Jesse, being president is a waste of time. It's like being a lifeguard for a bird bath.
I always try and think about like what character from Saved by the Bell I'm most like, and I think I'm like a hybrid of Zach and Screech, which is weird.
You got some Screech in you, that's
I
for
do
sure.
have some Screech, but
you
might have
got
a little
some
bit of Zach, you know?
Yeah. Can you say you have Zach if, like, can you say that yourself, you know, or is that like?
I'm not as cool or handsome as Zach, but like that's where the Screech comes in. But I'm also not as like hapless as Screech.
Cool, thank you
That's
so
it.
much,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
Been in the hospital